Hello, Aries. Always giving you your Aries wink for our readings together. December 2019, here we are. It is a very visionary month. Of course, we are in Sag season, so that's already going to have a visionary element to it. And Sagittarius energy, fellow fire sign, the sun being in there and moving through, is really giving us a boost of energy. And Aries, you all have been through a really interesting last few months because we had that Mercury retrograde, but that was happening in your 8th house of transformation, really taking you to some places where maybe you visited your haunted house. I always call it the haunted house, which is where we go when we are really our fear voice kicks up and we start thinking about how to protect ourselves. We start working through issues via self-protection mechanisms, and we go to these dark places where people are out to get us, or we feel really paranoid, or where we just feel not worthy, right? A haunted house can come out in so many different varieties, but we take our place through the labyrinth of our mind in that spot. And that Mercury retrograde may have brought up some of those more tender points for you and really worked with you. And of course, in December, we're finishing out the post-shadow phase of that Mercury retrograde. That closes out on the 7th. And what also is going on is we're having Jupiter moving from Sagittarius, where it's been all of 2019 so far, into Capricorn on the 2nd. And Jupiter is then moving into your 10th house of your reputation in the world, the way you move through the world. It's going to take you to some really focused places and help you to build things with focus. If you're interested in learning more about Jupiter in Capricorn and what that's going to be doing in 2020, my Patreon is the best place to go check that out. So I will leave the link below if you're interested in connecting with me over there. I have a lot of extras, and I'm going to be doing a lot more about the year ahead. But back to you all this month. There's a lot of really powerful energy saying it's time to step through the world in a different way. So Jupiter in Capricorn is going to really have you focus, and there's a ton of activation in your 10th house of your reputation in the world, the way you move through the world, the way you apply that Aries energy to your projects, to your life, to what you want to contribute to this world. It's very grounded energy. So we have, Jupiter moving into Capricorn. Venus and Saturn go conjunct in Capricorn on the 11th, which is, it's a real check-in with how we love and how we want to be loved, and it's connecting with self-value for Aries and how you all give of a value to yourself, and challenging you to really value, really check in. So that's going to be a powerful day for you. We have a full moon in Gemini in that 3rd house of communication, very playful energy, throat chakra really getting electrified there and opened up. So it's a very important moon for you all in refining what it is you're bringing to the world. We also have the sun moving into Capricorn on the 22nd, and then a new moon and eclipse in Capricorn on the 26th. And Mercury moving into Capricorn as well. So you can see how that 10th house is really strong for you this month. But the note that came up for Aries in the context of all of these big energies, all of these really fresh, vibrant, new energies, and so many of the planets are direct at this time. There's this really visionary energy in December, and there's this concrete energy because there's so much going on in Capricorn right now. There's just a lot. December is like, Capricorn is just highlighted deeply, deeply, deeply. It's all about building. It's all about, what are we doing in this world? How are we going to show up to the table? But I think we kind of misunderstand how that works. And I think for you all, this is the thing. Because that 10th house energy is so go get it, go after it, it does actually work quite well. Tower. Okay. We're going to talk about liberation and freedom and why that's a really important card and why it's super symbolic in the Aries journey. Strength. I love it. Love this so much. Wow. Okay. You're going to be really tempted to put your armor on and get into that Aries go mode, right? Okay, I see. Time to build something. It's time to conquer something. 2020's here. Like Ace of Cups. It's right around the corner. Better get on it. 2 more cups cards wanted to come out. 5 of Wands, King of Pentacles. It's going to be very tempting to put that armor on, get into that warrior mode that's innate in you. But the way that Capricorn energy is getting activated, the way that we're connecting in with Capricorn energy is not in warrior mode anymore. Three of Pentacles. There's a different application, and specifically for Aries, this is about trusting in your value without the armor on, without the spikes put on, without the pushing, without the forcing yourself, judgment, without the forcing of your energy, the forcing of your soul to do things that don't feel very rewarding or vibrant to you. The logic has changed. The way you move through the world has changed during the course of this year. And as you hit into December, you're going to notice Six of Pentacles. Balance. You're going to notice that when you try and go back to the way you did things last December or 2 Decembers ago, you can't. It's like physically you may find you can't follow through in the way that with those old patterns. You know, you may just find it hard to say the things that you would have said before. You may find that, you know, in wanting to put on that armor, you just lose energy. And that's because you've been learning how to harness your Aries fire in new ways. In ways that still feel vibrant and powerful and initiating and creative and vibrant and passionate and loving, but with less pain involved, with less of this sense that you have to whip yourself into some kind of frenzy, right? And that's where this tower is really important. I know already that there are going to be people watching this who are going to say, the tower is bad news, and if you say that this is a positive thing, how could I ever believe you about that? It's just really funny, because this card is about liberation. This card is about freedom. This card is about toppling the aristocracy. Quite literally, the symbolism of this card is about revolution. You see this card, this is the hand of God knocking out the old order, right? So when you've been resisting your soul's call, when you've been resisting your soul's path, yeah, the tower can look pretty dramatic, right? It can take out things from your life that are part of that old order, that old aristocracy, that old oligarchy that is holding you freaking prisoner. But if you've been working, if you've been transmuting, which has been going on with you the last few months, there's been a lot of transmutational energy working with you the last couple of months, moving into December. I tell you what, the tower is just about the liberation. It's the liberation of your energy from something that doesn't work for you anymore and is part of the old aristocracy. And the thing is, you know, you look at that tower, what does it lead into? It leads into strength and the Ace of Cups. Now, I think the tower personally makes a lot of sense for Aries energy. You guys are fire starters. You are very dynamic. You don't really make change in your life low key. And that's part of what's kind of changing, right? But there's still this desire, I think, for you to break forward, to blast through anything that's old and to release and shift. And so that's always going to be a part of your process. But I do think there's a way to do it in a way that feels really creative and really liberating and really warm and fun and bright and crisp, and doesn't just feel like you have to go to the depths of your soul and like burn it out, right? And that's the thing that I'm seeing here. You know, strength and the Ace of Cups, these are very nurturing, healing energies. These are energies about taking your time, filling your cup, listening to your soul, savoring each step. Now, of course, maybe you have a Leo coming into the fold. For those of you looking to connect, this is very beautiful relationship energy, right? This is very beautiful heart chakra activation energy where you are really focusing on the nurturing of this aspect of yourself. So whether that's through creative work that maybe you felt you couldn't work on before now because you had to focus on what looked good on the exterior, what is speaking to your soul, or in really feeding your relationships, feeding those soulful places in your life that are private, that are personal. Even though you're getting that 10th house activation, here's the thing. Whatever you're doing in that external identity, it can only be fueled by the richness of the landscape internal to you. It can only be fueled by this type of warm, giving space within you. That is where the fuel is coming from, not from putting the armor on and pushing through, right? And so that's the message here. Now, what's really interesting is we get this little Five of Wands right here, right? Which is classic Aries way. Get in there, speak your mind, duke it out a little bit, see who gets the upper hand, see who comes out on top. And yeah, maybe you will have some deep discussions that bring up some pointed spaces, some uncomfortable little sticking points. You know, Five of Wands to me can be very constructive energy if applied correctly, which is, you know, we do need to have hard conversations in life. We do need to let our desires and our needs be known. We do have to sometimes hit into uncomfortable territory where we disagree or we don't see eye to eye. But if you're coming in with that desire to find new understanding, this will come and go. But I also do think this Five of Wands is all about that more Aries way of like, we got to get into battle for anything to get accomplished. And the lesson here keeps coming back again and again to things have changed. Things have changed for the Aries family. You know, this is part of the Chiron journey as well that you all are on at the moment, which is all about healing this warrior. You know, taking care of that energy and nurturing it and it needing time to learn a new way of moving. Now for you, this is about building something and setting intention. Once again, slow, soft energies are much more dominant in your reading than these harsher revolution cards, right? And the message coming through here for me is that revolution is afoot for Aries. Change is afoot for Aries in December and closing out 2019 and saying a beautiful farewell to 2019. There is revolution. There's big change. There are big new opportunities coming in. But the revolution doesn't come from the drama external. It's coming from where we're setting our intentions and where we're planting our seeds. King of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles is very intentional. You know, it's kind of watching and perceiving and then taking the seeds you want to plant and really intentionally choosing those seeds, choosing which plants you want to create and putting them in the ground and really sifting through just those one or two things that you really want to focus on and build. Now, these are harmonious energies. These are very grounded. They move very slowly, which is not necessarily always the way you move through the world. And I'm not saying it has to be forever. But this December, you're going to notice that your power, where you're getting that engine, that fuel, is coming from this really intentional, grounded, really weighing out your options and making sure that where you're putting your energy, where you're putting that Aries fire makes sense and feels good and is something that you want to develop further. These are long-term investment energies. And there's support here for you. These are very supportive cards. Here's the thing. So we got the Tower at the beginning, right? Revolution. There is change in the air for Aries. And there is a sense that anything old, anything part of that old oligarchy is thrown out. Judgment is here as well. And this is much more of the spiritual revolution. I think the Tower is very spiritual as well. But the Judgment is much more about the underground, the hidden, the unseen, and finding peace and self-forgiveness. And I think this is really important for Aries. You finding space in yourself to really love and forgive all past versions of yourself, all the people you've been, all the times you have felt like you've pushed yourself too hard or overgiven, right? We often want to berate those parts of ourselves and say, I should have been wiser, I should have known better. And this Judgment card is a transmutation of that self-judgment into divine grace, divine healing. Now, this can also be a card of healing when it comes to our lineage and to our ancestral heritage and to where we have been given storylines or plot lines or wounds in our family stories that we can now forgive and release. And this can take us to some places that bring up really uncomfortable emotions, but Judgment is also about freedom. The Tower is about freedom from imprisonment, and Judgment is about freedom from being locked underground, freedom from old ghosts. And so, you know, liberation is a very important key word for Aries this month. Once again, though, what is liberation? What does it mean to be autonomous, to be sovereign in your life? It means being free from fear. It means being free from judgment, because those are the places we keep ourselves locked in. And we use a lot of energy unconsciously worrying about how we're judging ourselves and how well we're doing or how badly we're doing or how others are doing. And it's so funny to me that you get such the reasonable, rounded out card here in the Six of Pentacles. And I think this is like the overarching message for you all month. You can have the Tower and Judgment, Ace of Cups and Five of Wands and Strength and Three of Pentacles and all these really powerful dynamic energies bringing in opportunity, love, connection, partnerships, building new, really great creative ventures. Because the astrology is really, really supportive of you building meaningful projects and meaningful work in the world and taking your time to really do it in a way that feels like it is nurturing and nourishing your soul. It's an amazing time for Aries, actually. This is a really wonderful time for you all to savor life a little bit more. And the Six of Pentacles is reminding us here of that, because as much as you want to apply all that firepower external to you, you're going to be asked to, yes, apply it externally, get in there, get going, get passionate, save some for yourself, right? Balance. How much are you giving out? How much are you letting others come in and help you? You know, we can self-destruct and self-sabotage and keep ourselves locked in when we also don't let others help us, see us, value us. When we feel that we are in charge of everything all the time, we miss out on the opportunity to receive. And that is really what the message of Six of Pentacles is. Yes, you have something to give. Yes, you have something to offer. Yes, you have a voice. And yes, you have a role to play in the world. But you also, you know, as with every sign, we come into the world with our gifts, right? Aries, you are initiating. You're really good at leadership. You're really good at making plans and making things move. So one of your lessons in life is learning how to balance that out at this other aspect of receptivity and slowing down and easing in. I have a few affirmations for you all this month that I think really speak to this journey and I think to just being open to the way that problems get solved and the way that the path unfolds for you. Don't get so rigid and set on what you think is supposed to happen, because the way that blessings come in for you this month are going to be surprising, and they aren't going to be on your regimented schedule. They're going to be a little bit more free-spirited, a little bit softer, a little bit more nurturing. So here are your affirmations for December 2019. I allow paths to open up before me. I invite surprising and easy solutions into my life. I want to say that one again. I invite surprising and easy solutions into my life. I keep my heart soft and open, and I trust its guidance system to show me the way forward. This is your fuel. This is your catalyst. Anything that happens, anything that moves in December can only come from those things that harmonize with you, that help you sing. And there is a clearing going on here. There is a shift going on for Aries. I can see that and feel that. And clearly there's something very dynamic at play here. Clearly this is not a time that is about status quo. Right? There is revolution afoot here, and it's quite powerful for you all. There is a demand for change, and absolute change, and the kind of change that comes from grounded presence in the world, and taking our time and building with that earth concept of seeds that grow into plants, and harvesting. I'm sending you guys so much love. Like I said, if you're interested in more details about the year ahead, about this Jupiter and Capricorn transit we are about to embark upon together, please go hang out with me on Patreon. It means so much to me. For those of you who have joined me, thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you who are thinking about it, I think it's one of the most fun and caring and nurturing spaces you can go hang out with me. I would love to see you over there. You can, of course, also find me on Instagram at Sarah Verba. I haven't opened up my 2020 calendar for one-on-one readings. I will be doing so shortly, so if you're interested in getting on the list for that, please email me and I will add you to the notification list so you will know when my calendar opens. And of course, you can find Pink Loon's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop. I will leave the link for her beautiful store below. I love you all so much. You know how much I love you, Aries. I will see you in January. Well, I'll see you for all the moon magics because we're about to go into eclipse season, and that new moon and Capricorn eclipse is going to change and revolutionize the way you're looking at your life and the work you're doing in the world. It's going to be really powerful. We will cover all of that. And of course, for the new year ahead, I'm so excited. I will see you so soon. Have a beautiful December, and I'm sending you all my love.